Scoop the buttock flesh away from the sitting bones. I will take off my jumper in a moment once I've warmed up. Roll the shoulders back and down and lengthen the sides of the neck, lengthen the sides of the body. Just as we did yesterday, open your arms out to the sides, extend from the center of the breastbone out to the thumbs, then turn the palms up. Lift your arms and lengthen from the creases of your hips all the way up. Also, make sure that you're not congesting the neck and shoulders. So if you need to open the arms wider, I just seen Janet doing that. If you need to open your arms wider, do that, but roll the shoulders and extend from the hips up, but also from the center of your chest and from the spine. So it's more or less like we have 4 columns holding the head there. Then bring your hands together and take the arms down towards your chest, keeping that lift, keeping that feeling that you've created space between the ribs to breathe in and out better. Align the back of the head and the tailbone. Lengthen the back of your ears back and up. Relax your legs, the abdomen, but keep expanding the chest and lifting it up. Take a deeper inhalation than before. And let's all chant. Inhale and lift the chest. Bow your head down. Drop the palms on the thighs. And slowly bring your head up and open your eyes. Okay, let's begin. So take the legs, change the crossing of the legs. So take the other shin forward. It doesn't have to be a very tight crossing of the leg. And then bring your right hand to the floor on the right side. And then we can move that arm away. That will depend on how much you can extend the left side of the body. So lift your left arm and try and keep it extended as you take your body to the right. So you are extending the left side of the body, but taking the 2 arms and the body to the right. Now, see if you can inhale and lift the chest to the chin and turn your chest and look up. However, keep lengthening on the hip and sitting bone on the left side, so it doesn't really move. You get a better stretch if you're anchored on the 2 sitting bones almost evenly. Of course, there will be more weight on the right, but you want to also stretch the left. This is a nice stretch also for lumbar spine problems. Lengthen and turn the head, roll the shoulders away from the neck, and then inhale and come back up. Let's try and do the same to the other side. So the left hand, it doesn't stay still. You can carry on walking. First of all, extend the right arm and then walk away with your left, trying to reach the wall on the left. However, turn the chest to the ceiling and keep the spine at the same plane that it was when you were standing straight. So turn the chest, turn the neck, lift your head, lift your chest, and then anchor the right buttock bone. Extend both arms, so don't allow the top arm to bend. Lengthen the spine, lengthen the ribs some more, and then come back to the center. So we will stand up and do something very similar in Trikonasana now. Let us all stand up. We will not have a large amount of, a large distance between the 2 feet, but I hope you can all see. What I am going to do is taking my right foot, because I'm going to the right foot to the wall of the skirting boards. You can, of course, do it here. Let me show you. I think it is going to be better seen here. The triangle version goes right foot to the wall. I'm going to be doing slightly in the diagonal so you can see what I'm doing, but you are going to be straight with both legs aligned. So basically, instead of worrying about how low my right hand goes to the right foot, my right foot is slanting and the toes are up the wall and the heel is on the floor. I want to have my left arm on the wall. And then from here, I will start walking my hand back. So it is almost like I'm opening out and away from the right leg. The groin of the right will open. If I was doing it in the middle of the mat, we usually do this one. And we stay with the spine in the same plane. Now, I will start stretching that arm and walking it behind me to keep the chest opening, the lift in the chest and the extension on the ribs on the left side. Let's start. So first of all, go ahead and place the right foot up on a little bit of wall, if wall, door, or wherever you are. The heel is on the floor and the foot is up the skirting boards. Then, of course, when you open your arms, the right arm is going to touch the wall. But what you want to do is slide that hand along the wall. Wherever it reaches is fine. Some of us may reach a bit lower down the ankle, and some of us may reach all the way to skirting boards. Lift the left arm, place it on the wall, and then at the beginning you can have your elbow bent. As soon as you start walking your hand back, stretch that left arm. So the right side of the body is kind of shrinking. The left side of the body is stretching and the left arm is on the wall. Now start taking that left arm behind you. So you're opening that shoulder, stretching that shoulder as much as you can. If you can also turn your head and look up at the top arm. Sue Pitchford, can you bring that top hand to the wall? The top hand to the wall in front of you. There you go. And now look between the two arms, that little window between your two arms, look up, and then you will have a stretch from the outer left ankle to the fingers. Keep pushing the right buttock forward. Keep pushing the right groin forward, and then can you take the left thigh back? That's it, Val. That's it. And then inhale, walk your left hand back to the center and come back to your normal Trikonasana. Well, you know what we're doing, so now simply turn yourselves around so you can still use the wall. Right. Left foot up on the wall and the heel is on the floor. Separate the two legs. You don't really need the two legs mega wide because, of course, we're lifting the foot, etc. The leg is shortening. Now, with your left side, go down either to the shin or calf of the left foot or the hand to the wall. And then with your right arm, first of all, find the wall over your head. and then start walking that hand and arm back behind you so that you can open and stretch your back. In other words, the left shoulder needs to stay more forwards than the right shoulder in this case. The left shoulder is walking back. The whole chest is turning to the ceiling. You can also extend that arm, extend the right arm, find the wall behind, and open the chest. You can also turn the head and peep between the two arms. Keep breathing. Keep maintaining the balance there. Anchor the outer side of the right foot and stretch the right side of your body. Inhale and bring yourselves back up slowly, slowly. Okay. So the one we're going to do now is Uttanasana. We have just stretched the sides of the body individually. Now we will stretch the two of them at the same time. And let me show you. Some of us may need the bricks. Some of us may be better off with a chair. This extension goes this way. You go to Uttanasana with the legs straight and the arms straight. So I'm making like a tabletop here. But notice I have started in the middle of my mat. So when I am moving back with my tailbone and my sitting bones, I will move forwards with my arms. And that's why we may need extra length for the arms and hands if we are a bit tighter in the hamstring. So what you want is to end up being slanted with your legs, which will open the groin and the back groin to the outer hips, etc., and the hamstrings. And you want to also stretch the two sides of the body evenly. This is almost like when we are doing child's pose, but in this case, we're doing child's pose with legs extended. Okay, so your torso has to be concave. If you start arching the back like that, that's an indication that you need extra height for your hands. And then you can extend the arms and the sides of the body and the spine at the same level. Shall we start? So measure, you may need a chair or the foam pads that are taller than the bricks. Otherwise, just get your bricks. Be in the center of your yoga mat, 2 feet hip width distance apart. If you have a bad back, turn the feet like that, heels out, toes in. So you got more expansion there. Go down into Uttanasana. At the moment, the heels and the buttocks are in one straight line, and the hands and the shoulders, they are also one straight line. Lift the knees. You've got to really work your legs in this one. Anchor the heels, and then gently start feeling that there's a pair of hands pushing your thighs and flattening the thighs to the wall behind you. So you're leaning back without lifting your toes. Toes are still on the ground. So lean back with your buttocks, and now counterbalance by walking your arms forward. Walk your arms forward, walk your buttocks back. Look up at your hands with bricks. Open the chest, open the arms, and stretch the spine. Stretch the arms, stretch the sides of the body. So make this extension happen from the lumbar spine all the way up to the hands. Move your buttocks a little bit more back, Claire. More back. Like really slant your legs. That's it. Extend as if someone was pulling you with a rope from the thighs, and someone's pulling you from the hands with the bricks. Last of all, relax your head. The chest wants to come to the chin. And then inhale, move your legs back to vertical and walk your feet if needed towards the hands. Inhale and come back up. Right. Following this very similar action, let us all do downward dog. But this downward dog will have the legs a bit wider than usual, because I want us to, we'll start in downward dog, and then I want us to take the opposite hand to the opposite leg. And so we will be catching this way. Look, if you are tightening the hamstrings, you can also have your hands on your bricks. Otherwise, hands on the floor, classical version of dog, but legs are wider. Legs are almost touching the edges of the mat. And then what we will do is catch the left leg with your right hand. And so we will stretch by pulling back, and then vice versa. So the head has to peep through that little window between the front arm and leg. Shall we do? Most of us are already in it. So take your two hands to normal downward dog, but the two legs wider than normal. So legs are almost as wide as the yoga mat. Send the body weight back, extend the legs. And now, with your right hand, catch your left leg wherever you reach. Either the thigh, the knee, the shin, the ankle. It's important that you don't bend that leg to catch. So the arm is stretching, and the hand is stretching, the arm is stretching, and then turn your trunk. Turn your trunk to the left. Your head needs to appear as if from a window between your left hand and left leg. Open and broaden across the shoulders. That's it. That's it. Val, can you lower that hand a little lower? And Janet, lower the hand towards the ankle and pull more strongly. You are allowed to pull and bend the elbow. And then release. Take the two hands down, come into all fours, and do, well, you can stay here, Jenny, no force if the knee is a problem. Otherwise, do a little child's pose just to rest. And when you have recovered, come back up, and let's try the other side. So again, put the two legs more or less as wide as the yoga mat, two hands either on bricks or on the floor, and come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pulling up the knees, pulling up the thighs. And then the opposite hand. So I think now it is the left hand going to the right leg. Open the chest and turn it. Turn from the hips, turn from the waist, turn from the shoulders. And then pull from that arm that's holding the leg, pull from that arm, and bring the chest between the right arm and leg, and bring the head between the right arm and leg. But you don't want to push the head, you want to do it from the chest. Keep breathing. Lift your buttocks, extend the two legs, extend the two legs. Make sure the leg you're gripping is not actually bending. And then come back down to your hands or hands and knees. And if you need to rest in child's pose, take a moment to rest there. We will take this just a tiny bit more dynamically. So we'll do the similar pose, a similar pose. Let me show you how you take the measurements here. If you have bad wrists, you can still use the bricks under your hands. So I come down with my belly on the ground and my hands by the chest, because that's the correct measurement where I have my forearms vertical. So then I come into downward dog, just as we did a moment ago, come back up, downward dog. And the reason why I've made this measure is so that when I come back to tap my opposite leg with the hand and then turn. So I am coming to a plank and turning, extending and turning in one direction, extending and turning in the other direction. Okay? Always keeping my legs straight. I am hinging at the hips. I am hinging at the elbows. The arms are also straight at all times. I am just bending them to lift myself up. Okay? But we're not bending the arms. Let's do this. Sandy, for some reason, the camera has switched off. So place the belly on the floor and then bring your hands more or less until your elbows are facing the ceiling and your forearms are vertical. Lengthen the tailbone, turn the toes under, and come up to downward facing dog. Lift yourselves up in stages, come into downward dog. Lengthen the legs, lengthen the elbows. Now release your left hand and touch your right outer leg. Come to a plank on one arm, turn your trunk and lift the left arm up. So you're turning up and then turning down and back. One more time. Go forwards with a plank and keep your left arm up in the air. Go backwards to downward dog and tap your left hand with the, opposite hand to leg. That's great. Okay. Come down, have a little rest. Sandy, what we were doing was downward facing dog, the similar action as we were doing. So tapping the opposite leg with hand and then going down into a plank, but up with my same arm. So this arm is never touching. I am turning from one side to the other. Basically, my torso is doing John Travolta. And my arm is stretching forwards and back, but most of the weight is on the arm and on the hips and legs, all right? The legs are staying down on the floor, but only one arm is going to hold me. Shall we try the other side? So let's do that same measuring. Go down to the ground with your bellies, hands by the chest, forearms are vertical, and then, and then come back up. Downward facing dog. So it's the other hand that's now going to release. I suppose it's the right hand now. So lift the right hand and take it to the opposite leg, which is left leg, downward dog. And now lift, lower your tailbone, lift and turn your body up. One more time, go back and down with your trunk twisting in the direction of the fixed arm, and then come forwards to a plank. Do it one more time without touching the floor with that loose arm. Tap your opposite leg and then open up. Come down, have a little rest. And then we're going to go into Shirshasana. So those of us who are trying headstand, we're going to do headstand in this way. We go down, we go up, and as soon as we go up, we will take, just as we did yesterday, the two legs to one side, and then my back leg, the one that is closest to the wall, will go back, and the front leg, the one that's closest to the camera, will go forward. So I'm opening the legs. like a pair of scissors. Then I come back to center, realign myself, and come to the other side. So my back leg, the one that's near the wall, is going back, and the front one is going forward. You can do this with your buttocks against the wall, and that would be fine. If you're not going upside down, you will do something very similar, but on the floor. So you can take a belt, extend the leg, extend the left leg, catch the right one in your left hand and take, or take a belt and take the leg out to the side, extending the torso, keeping the two shoulders on the floor. You can, of course, use a belt for this, for catching that leg. And you can turn the outer side of your foot that's on the ground, you can turn it to face the floor. So if I am going to the left with my raised leg, you can turn the little toe of the right foot to the floor. So see if you can do that again, but the back leg, the one that's on the door, the one that's against the door, Sue has to go back. The one that's against the wall goes back, and the one that is against, well, into the middle of the room goes forward. You need to cross your legs the other way. Are you okay, Sandy? Did you get a pull? Okay, yeah, just give yourself a rest and hold the two knees, or hold the two shins. Lift the two shoulders, those of you upside down. That's it, Janet. Bring your front leg lower, 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 lower. Well done. Well done. If you have done the two twists, come down gently. And stay in Adho Mukha Virasana or Child's Pose to release. If you are on the ground already, hug your two legs, turn around to the right side, and come up to a sitting position. Okay. Some of us may need a belt for this. Some of us may also need a chair for this. Others may do this prop free. I will show you with all the props first, and then we do the progression. So I will have my body facing sideways on to the prop or to the floor. This is almost like I'm going to do tree pose. So bend and turn that right leg and place it on the chair. This can also be on the ground, and we're not putting the foot on height. So then I will bring my right hand, right leg, right hand between the two legs and try to bend that elbow in. So at this time, I am rolling the shoulder forwards to go ahead and catch. My left hand swings back, and maybe I will have to catch with the belt, or maybe I can catch with my two hands. Remember, I'm showing you with the two props. Then pull from the belt and open the chest. And some of us may stay here trying to dig in with the outer left hip. Outer left hip, catching in, and opening the chest. Remember, I started with a hunchback, and then I am pushing my bent knee back, and I am turning to open this side of the chest and coiling the armpit. From the back, it looks something like this. So same hand as leg going down between the legs, and then I am bending my elbow and turning it to the hip. Then I'm catching with the belt or hand to hand, and then coming to the toes, trying to align my standing leg. If this is going to give you stability and there is no balancing involved. However, you can try, you can have the props there handy and try without them, and then if you need them, go ahead and go to the props. So bending and turning the right leg, going deep down between my legs and catching hand to hand, stepping in with the right leg, gripping the outer left hip and trying to come up, trying to come up into a balance. Hang on a minute, let's start again. Go down, grip, and then grip the outer left hip in, lift, and come into the balance. So then I've got to really open my right side of the body to the left. From the back, it looks something like that, catching hand to hand, and then stepping in, lift by gripping the standing leg hip. Grip the standing leg hip, and then turn your body away from the bent leg. Okay? Let's start. Let's see. I will do one with the props and one without. For those of you who are not using any props at all, just bend and turn the right leg out. Others will bend and turn the leg on the chair and keep your belt in your left hand. With the right arm, we're going down. All of us going down between the two legs like a pendulum. Then turn the palm behind you to face behind you and bend that elbow. At the moment, my trunk is hunching. Swing the left hand behind you and catch belt to hand or hand to hand. Catch at the height of your hip, the outer right hip, sorry. Those of you with foot on the floor, bring the foot closer to you. If you are on a chair, maybe you can bring the toes to the edge of the chair. And then if you are on the chair, lift your trunk, push the right elbow into the knee and turn your trunk from right to left, gripping the outer left hip in, outer left hip in. Lift the chest, turn your trunk, turn your head and look at the left shoulder. Lift the chest, lower the tailbone. Open the arms, open the chest, and then release. Belt, hands, leg down, and then turn around. Let's do the other side. So if you're using props, turn the chair around. If you're not, you can stay in the same place. Start from Tadasana, sideways onto the chair, bend and turn the left leg out. Now, the hip will come out and the shoulder will go down, but then we've got to come back to that alignment. So go down with the left hand, turn the hand behind you. Bring the elbow near the knee and the hand near the hip. Swing the right hand behind your back and catch with the belt or hand to hand. And now from here, move the left foot closer to the edge of the chair or closer to the standing leg. And then grip the hips, bend the standing leg a little if you are balancing, and then straighten the leg. Grip the hip, turn your trunk from left to right. Turn your trunk, lift the chest, lift the armpit, and turn around away from the bent leg. If you are pushing, if your leg is on the chair, push the elbow, extend your arms, turn around and face the right shoulder. Well done. And then release, leg down and arms. Let's do, if you have a chair there, do a downward dog on the chair. If you have no chair, do a downward dog on the floor. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, try to extend and expand, bring your heart rate back to normal. And then whenever you're ready, come back up. So we will now, maybe you need a brick or not, just to squat and do Marichyasana 3. If you have problems in your knees, you may want to do it on a chair again, standing up and trying to hook the opposite elbow to the opposite knee and then turning. It's a similar action to what we've just done, but against the leg. So a moment ago, we were away from the leg. Now we're going to and crossing across. This is for those of us who have problems in the knee and their knees are not going to bend into a squat. However, if you can, sit on a little bit of height if needed. We will extend the left leg and turn to the right, hooking the elbow. If that hooking is not possible, hug the knee and carry on turning. So let's start from extending the two legs in Dandasana or sitting up, or standing up, I mean. I will turn around so you can see you. The right leg is going to bend up. Right leg is bending, left leg is straight. At the moment I am squatting, my trunk is almost touching the thigh. Lift your left arm up. Turn your trunk towards the right and then hook that elbow. If that is not a possibility, wrap the elbow around the shin and give yourselves that torsion. Now, if you have been able to hook the elbow, can you make a deeper hook so that your upper arm is hooking? The armpit, the back of the armpit is hooking rather than just the elbow. And then with your right arm, swing it behind you and catch your leggings on that left side of your body. Grip the hips, extend the left leg and see if you can push that elbow back and lift the chest forward. Push the elbow back, lift the chest. With your outer right hip, you're trying to push into that elbow. Bring the head back. That's it. And turn and look over your right shoulder. That's lovely. Carry on extending the long leg. Lift the chest some more and try to bring the left ribs over and beyond the right thigh. The left ribs are turning so much that you're going over that right thigh, and then realign yourselves. Even weight on two buttock bones. Inhale, Bring yourselves back to the center. Extend the legs. Just stay in Dandasana and lift your arms. Lift the two arms there so that you can breathe in properly. You can lengthen the ribs. Urdhva Hastasana arms. So bring them up if you can. Yes, that's it. Lift the chest a little bit more forwards, Val. Yes. And now bend the left knee. Bring it really close to its own buttock. Lengthen the chest, lift it up, and then lift the right side of your body, right arm. With an exhalation, turn your trunk to the left, and with another exhalation, hook. If that is not a possibility, wrap the elbow around the wrist, not the wrist, the knee. With your left hand, can you reach the leggings on the right side? Can you reach the leggings and start pulling so that you get a better rotation? From the side, you should only be able to see one of the two shoulders. The head is in line with the spine. That's it. Now, Sandy, see if you can squat. Yes, that's it. Closer to that bent leg. Closer to that bent leg. There's barely any space between your thigh and your ribs on the left side. Right ribs are coming over that thigh bone. Inhale, and then release the gripping and come back to the center. Stretch the two legs in Dandasana. And bring yourselves back down. So the last one of the standing poses, it is also a twist. You can choose whether you want to do it again on the chair, on the wall, or freestyling. I will show you with the chair because it's exactly the same if I do it on the chair or on the wall. You can have a belt to hold the leg. So if we start lifting the right leg, lift and lift. And then from here, you will hold the two belts with the left hand. Right leg is up, left hand is holding the brick. And then we will open. Open again, trying, can you see the fingers of the right hand? Hooking and try to turn some more. Turn some more, turn some more. Ideally, we're doing this asana facing the wall and then opening away from it like a book. If you can do it without the prop, so you have your heel against the chair or you have the sole of the foot against the wall, and or you can bend the leg, catch the instep with your left hand, and then as you stretch the leg, you open the opposite arm out. So you're not doing all this because that will be define the balance too much. So as I did before, I'll do one with the props and the other one without it. Right leg is going up. Start in Tadasana. If you prefer to use a sofa, if you prefer to use a wall to put your foot on, that's also fine. And you don't need to have a belt. You can catch with your hand. If you are using a belt, however, wrap the right foot with the belt, lift the leg up, place the heel on the chair or the sole of the foot on the wall, and catch the two tails of the belt in your left hand. If you're facing the chair or the wall, release the right arm and open the right arm. Bend that right elbow and catch, unless you're balancing. If you're balancing, you can open the arm out. Yes. Extend the standing leg thigh, back. lift the chest, extend the leg that's on the chair, pull up the knee and the thigh, lengthen the thigh of the standing leg, lift the chest, roll the buttocks down, roll the outer right hip down, come back to the center, bend the right leg, and release into the floor. And then we're going to the other side. So those of you who have a prop don't have to move. You just put the other foot on top of the chair and catch the belt with the opposite hand. Those of us who are holding, lift the left leg and go ahead and catch with the belt or the inside of the foot with your right hand. And then as you extend the leg forward, open the arm back. So those of us lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders down, balancing in the room, open the back arm, send the thigh of the standing leg back. Lift the chest, lengthen the tailbone, lift the pubic bone up. That's it. Turn, turn, turn. And then come back to center. Release the leg away from the chair and come back down. Right. So take a break and Setu Bandha. So this, hopefully we will be able to do Setu Bandha with the brick up on height. If you cannot do it with the tallest brick, do it with the brick on the second level. But try going down to the floor, lifting your buttocks, taking the brick underneath your sacrum, and then, if possible, interlace your hands. Take the wrists to the floor, and then lengthen the legs away. If you cannot lengthen the legs away, keep them bent, but start stretching them as much as you can away from you without lifting the shoulders off the ground. Without lifting the shoulders off the ground. I'm so sorry, it just disappeared for a second there. Extend the arms away from you and roll the shoulders down. Lengthen the head away from, yes, away from your shoulders, shoulders away from your head. And then bend your legs and take your heels up if needed. And as you remove the brick, try and take, I meant come onto the toes, Janet, sorry. Yeah, sorry, just to remove the brick so that now we can go down one vertebra at a time. Okay. So now that we are all here with the buttocks and the spine on the floor, I want us to do this following twist, which is more of a relaxing twist. This is going to be a figure of 4. So I am placing my right outer ankle on top of my left thigh. And then open the arms out to sides and take my right foot down and my left outer leg down to the left. So I am still doing that kind of figure of 4, but I am rotating to that left. The right knee needs to go back, and that's what's going to give me the stretch. So let us all start together. Bend the leg, the right leg, so that your right ankle, the outer ankle, is on top of the left knee. That is almost like you're very comfortable reading a newspaper on the beach. From here, open the 2 arms out to the sides and take your right foot to the left leg to the floor. So my right knee is facing the ceiling whilst my right foot is on the floor. My left leg is bent. Now, keep the left leg bent and push back with your right knee. Push down to the left heel with your right knee. Lift the pubic bone, lift the abdomen, and lengthen the tailbone. So from the right shoulder to the right outer hip, there's a nice, gentle twist and stretch. Take a couple of inhalations and exhalations. The deeper you inhale, the more you will release as you exhale. And then come back to the center. Swap the crossing of your legs. So now your outer left ankle will be on top of the right knee. And simply turn to the right. So your right foot, the left foot is on the floor. Left knee faces the ceiling. And yes, that's it. And now, Sandy, bring the left knee up. Left knee up as if it wanted to go away from your body. So that from the left shoulder to the left outer hip, you are turning and stretching. Tailbone to the back leg knee. Lift the abdomen, lift the pubic bone. Open the 2 arms wide. Keep the 2 shoulders on the ground. Keep opening your legs. Inhale, bring the 2 legs back up, hug the knees, and then very gently take the 2 knees to one side, but hold them both with your opposite arm. So if you're taking the 2 knees to the right, hold them with your right hand. Try and keep the 2 shoulders on the floor. Soften the abdomen. Lengthen the tailbone, swap sides. Bring the 2 knees over to the opposite side. So if you're taking them to the left, hold the 2 knees down with your left hand. And then take the opposite side of your body away from your spine. 2 shoulders on the ground. Tailbone down. And then from there, come back to the center. And bring yourselves to the center to get ready for Shavasana. So if you need extra layers, if you need warmer clothes, or if you need a blanket, you can have that. If you still have 2 bricks handy, I would suggest having them right underneath your thighs, right underneath the creases of your buttocks. That will hold the body and relax all the churning and stretching that we have been doing so far. Extend the back of the head away from your shoulders and your shoulders out and away from the neck. Relax the facial muscles, relax the tongue in your mouth, relax the jaw. Soften the abdomen and the legs. And feel that even though we're now in a state of relaxation, you still want to soften the space you've created between the ribs. Take a deep inhalation breath, scanning your body from the toes to the shins, to the thighs, abdomen, chest. Head. If you have found any tension, release the tension like popping bubbles with the help of your exhalation breath. And then very gently, Claire, you will have to do Shavasana later tonight. Roll over onto the right side, bringing the knees to your chest, the hands to your chest.